Over the past several months, I have tried desperately to resolve this issue privately to no avail. So now I'm forced to go public. First, let's talk about why the director of Shiny Happy People Season 2, the docuseries that I appeared in, why is she claiming to be in fear of her life because of me? Why is she claiming that she had to flee her home, that I have destroyed her life and ripped her life to shreds, all the while I'm the one that's actually been suffering? Let's get into the evidence, shall we? Start with this post that she made December 20th, 2025, where she quote unquote joined the support group for people suffering from AI psychosis, or people who have a loved one who suffered from quote unquote AI psychosis. Let's see how she introduced herself to the group. Hi, I'm Corey. First, I want to say that I use M dashes because I'm Gen X. Sorry if it's triggering for anyone. Mine are at least the short ones, not the weirdo long AI ones. I'm not a spiraler. Are you sure? Although I totally get how it happens. And I'm not a friend family member of one. You're not a friend? Oh, I thought we were friends at one point. No, we're not even friends ever, apparently. Okay. I'm actually, very unfortunately, being stalked by someone whose delusions about me were induced by AI. That's a very interesting claim. They very much are not delusions, nor were they induced by AI. But let's talk about stalking for a minute, because let's go back to the phone records, shall we? The lines highlighted in gray, those are incoming. Those are times she called me. And the white, those are the times I called her. And you'll notice it goes back and forth, like it's reciprocal. Generally, do you contact your stalker? Do you call your stalker and talk to them? So does this seem like somebody who's afraid of me, or somebody who is engaged in a reciprocal relationship? So this is the last time I've ever called her, June 22nd of 2025. And in fact, after this time period, I said to multiple people that not only do I not want to see her, if I saw her in the street, I would run the other direction for my life. And I'm not fucking kidding. And I'm not exaggerating either. Let's go back to her message. We haven't even finished her first intro. She's been actively destroying my life for months, like in big ways. Flee my home ways. Ooh, I can't wait to hear this story. Flee your home? Okay, for the viewers at home that are new, I live in Canada. She lives in Palm Springs, California. I have not stepped foot in America since Trump won the last election, and I don't intend to, because I look pretty damn gay and I don't want to get hate crimed. So I would love to hear the story about how I made you flee your home. Yeah, I would love to hear it. I bet it's real juicy. I bet you had a big performance. I bet you were crying. I bet you had lots of great details, and it was very convincing, although it was completely made up. Next paragraph. Convincing others I'm a child trafficker ways. Yes, that is true. That is the one true thing she has said. I have been doing my best to convince people that she has been trafficking children. And it's not just me that said it. One of the kids said it.
You know, this white lady came who wants to help us and stuff. They're going to give her education. It's a program. So the government wanted to know, and people on the refugee camp wanted to know if they're not going to sell us or if they're not going to enslave us and stuff. So they also have to sign paper on the refugee camp saying that they're taking the Freeman family to open a program. So, and then UN said, okay, in order for you guys to do that, you guys have to sign this paper. And we're going to do a follow-up on you guys to make sure that you guys are in Liberia with the kids, not taking them or to go do enslavement or something with them. So that's how they flew us. Strong Heart then signed the paper. Now I'm here for a school. I'm not sponsored by Strong Heart organization, because Strong Heart organization who promised to help kids who pass through trauma and stuff, they didn't fulfill that purpose as they said that they were going to do for my entire family, and I was kicked out of the program.
Do you not believe the child saying that they were trafficked? You're going to look them in their face and say, no, You're lying to me? You weren't trafficked? You're not going to look at all the evidence? Tons of evidence to back up what the kid is saying, but because a court of law or somebody in authority hasn't said it, it's not true? Get the fuck out of here. And I do feel awful that she's in a severe mental health crisis due to AI, even if I'm the victim. First of all, no, you don't feel awful. You want me to be in a mental health crisis. You designed it and engineered it and you executed it. My story is similar to the Kendra Hilty thing on TikTok. You fucking wish. I'm a professional who was the focus of erotomania. Barf. And now malicious defamation stalking. If that's true, why don't you call the cops? Why don't you sue me? If I'm doing so many illegal activities, should be easy. But nothing, huh? Why is that? Because there is no evidence, because I've done nothing. Because I'm completely innocent and you are fabricating lies, trying to make them true. But just because you get a lot of people to repeat them doesn't make them true. And now malicious defamation, stalking, by someone I encountered in the course of my job. I'm a documentary filmmaker. She was an interviewee. I love how she minimizes by someone I encountered in the course of my job. You mean somebody that you actively recruited multiple times after they told you no? They didn't want to be involved and you still recruited them? And then you went hard and mirrored them and groomed them? Is that what you mean by somebody you encountered? That was December the 20th. It's interesting. What do you think, what would cause that? I haven't talked to her for 6 months. Why would she all of a sudden need to go to the support group and make all these wild claims? Is it because on December the 19th, I said this on my TikTok? Fuck around and find out. She's trying to come up with witnesses and a story preventatively and an entire group of people to back her up so that nobody will believe me. But in case you didn't notice, I don't need anybody else to back me up if I have the truth. And I have the proof of the truth, which I do. The next time she posts on the support group, December 28th, my stalker is posting like crazy on TikTok right now, alluding to damage she's planning to do to me. And I made the mistake of checking it just now, just to see if there was anything new. Now I'm having a pretty serious panic attack. I fucking hate this. I hate AI. She was actually a nice person before this fucking thing. Interesting that you made the mistake of checking it just now, but I have your account blocked. So that's interesting. How are you able to look at my account? Have you made a fake account to get past my block? That's a very stalkery thing to do. I'm not looking at your account. I'm not making fake accounts to look at your information, but you are making fake accounts to look at my information. Who's doing the stalking? And here's the middle of a conversation where there's been a little bit of back and forth. She says, "Thanks for your feedback." And it's an extremely level-headed, fair opinion, whatever the opinion was, I don't know. "I've heard you're a lovely, smart guy and an incredible asset to this group." And this is where I need you guys to clock in and understand the mentality and the psychology of a victim. And what an actual victim would say and feel is nothing like what she says she feels, okay? I'm currently in the reasonable anger category, but probably 200,000 steps beyond to incendiary wrath burning with the white hot fury of 1,000 suns. So it might slip into my discourse. I'm the subject of an AI-induced erotomaniac stalker turned AI-induced extremely public malicious defamation stalker. That's not a thing. Currently turning the corner into AI-induced, aided, abetted, malicious litigant, I think is what it is. Trade lives, ha ha ha. I don't think most victims feel incendiary wrath burning with the white hot fury of 1,000 suns. That level of rage is what you see in a predator. It's what you see in an abuser. That's the level of rage when a woman tries to leave her abusive husband and he murders her. This is the level of rage that we're talking about and that we're dealing with, okay? And now here's where it gets more dangerous than just a smear campaign and just destroying my reputation and my opportunities, okay? She is trying to create a new form of criminal pathology to assign me to because I do not fit any criminal profile because I'm not a criminal. I read it because I do take seriously the emerging idea that with AI, human psychology and pathology are becoming increasingly influenced and in some cases hybridized by machine thought processes. That's happening in my case, where the person stalking me isn't following the known trajectory that experts have traditionally relied on. No fucking shit, Sherlock. Why could that be? Is it because I'm not stalking you? Is it because you're stalking me and I'm defending myself? Instead, her path as a stalker has become unpredictable because it's seemingly based on AI psychopathology, which clearly behaves differently from known and studied human pathology, accelerated to say the least. Wow, she is really presenting herself here on an expert on a lot of levels. On AI psychopathology, I didn't know you had psychiatry training, or did you get some expertise from your year of being institutionalized when you were a teenager and you spent a year in a mental institution? Is that where you got your expertise on criminal psychopathology? Could be. I appreciate you noting that the person stalking me isn't following the known trajectory that experts have traditionally relied on. It's a lot of words to say, I don't have any evidence and I'm trying to make something up. And if I say enough big words and I say them confidently enough, maybe it'll work. It won't. And then it gets worse because now she's recruiting other people in the group, people I don't know, people from all over the world, people that are mentally unstable, because that's who this group is for, people who have been mentally destabilized by their interactions with AI. She's sicking them on me. She says, thank you. Flagging any info on AI delusions and crime would be super helpful. It's not so much using AI to carry out crime, but the AI-induced or AI-associated delusional thinking that results in crime. The AI support of grievances, AI acceleration of criminal psychology. You know, I'm starting to think this is a projection. Or AI-supported justification of harassment and violence. Okay, it's definitely projection. And definitely a red team stalking scenario would be extremely helpful, like the school shooter experiment published last week. So she is asking these people who practice red teaming on these various AI models to red team a stalking scenario for her. It would be helpful in some way against me. I don't love that because what does that mean? Red team a stalking scenario is incredibly vague. Are you going to role play as who you think I am and come up with like bizarro? How about not? How about we don't do that?